Good morning. I'm Jeanette with Prairie Dreams Decor, and thank you for joining me this morning. We're going to be building an Easter wreath, and I'll be using this back here. We made the bow the other night, and here it is. And I'm going to show you how I attach it. Remember, we put this, I had to redo it and I had to put this back on. So I'm using a zip tie. And I hope you can see, I don't have sophisticated cameras or anything. But the first thing I did was I cleaned up the back of my wreath. I put a hanger on it, on the back. And now I'm going to attach the wreath. And I just use the zip tie and go through the weave of the wreath. I don't go around it, because I don't really want anything to show up on the back that doesn't have to show. And then I just zip tie it on. Just like so. And it's at about the 10 o'clock position, if you were looking at a clock. I may need to get my, I'm getting tangled up here. I may need to get my pliers so I can pull that tighter. Is it nice this morning where you are? Hope so. The sun's shining here, but it's pretty chilly out there. I didn't go out for long, but I didn't really want to stay too long because it was pretty chilly. When you come in, tell me you're here. Oh, hi, Chris. Oh, thanks. I'm just going to cut off that zip tie. And straighten my bow out a little bit. I'll be fussing with this from now until next Tuesday, I always say. Wait, this is the one that wants to come up. Like that. And those tails may be just about right at 12 inches. I thought they might be too long, but I think they're fine. This is a 16-inch wreath base. Now the next thing I need to do is put the sign on, and I thought I'd show you how to do that. I could put this on an even bigger wreath, and it would look fine. But I'm thinking of the perimeter that I want to stay in. So it's going to hang out quite a bit, and you'll still be able to see the grapevine, unless we cover it up with flowers totally. So I'm going to punch my holes. I just use a jewelry punch. Which I got on Amazon. These are pretty handy to have, actually. Now I forgot where I was going to punch it down there. They use these for making jewelry, but I use them for this. Like that. So I'm going to hang here. And about down here. And I just give it a good squeeze. There we go. Then I just use paddle wire to wire these on. And wire's a little difficult for me, so bear with me. But it's the best thing to use for this. You can also use, which I have used a lot in the past, cable mounts on the back of the wreath, and then thread pipe cleaners through them, and use that to tie them onto the wreath. But we're just going to do this. Hope I got that long enough. And this, find my hole. With a busy sign like this, you don't have to worry about anything showing. Okay, let's try to attach this to the wreath. I get kind of nervous doing this in front of anybody anyway, let alone my shaky hands. So let's put it back up where I had it. And I'm just going to thread that wire up through where I want it to land. There again, not going on the back side of the wreath unless I can't help it. And I'm just going to attach it loosely for a moment. Make sure I've got it positioned correctly. I don't want it that loose. And down here, one thing I've had problems with in the past is getting my sign on straight. But sometimes it doesn't matter. Can you hear me fine when I'm over here talking? Let me know. Can you hear me fine when I'm back there talking? I hope so. I'm trying to talk a little louder. Okay. Just going to finish wiring this on. And notice the perimeter. See where I'm going with this? Then I'll cut those wires off and tuck them in between the grapevine. And when I get done, if I find that I don't think that this is sturdy enough, I may put a cable tie on the back and connect it in the middle there. But I think it's going to be fine. It's certainly not going to come out. Tuck that in. All right. Now, on to our goodies. Okay, I'm going to use ficus as a base. And if you've not worked with ficus, you probably should. It makes a nice base and it comes in several different colors. These are my focus flowers, and they're not very big. And I wish I had 5 of them, but I've only got 4, but we'll make it do. And I've got, oh, and I wanted to give you a little hint about these. These are from Walmart. So if you're ever in Walmart, these are so nice. Now the leaves aren't that great, but the flowers themselves are really nice. Ranunculus, which you can also get at Walmart. And then I've just got some little filler flowers that I'll show you as we go along. I do have these. There's a little bit of purple in the sign, so I wanted to kind of bring a little bit of that out. So I've got some of this, and I think this is real pretty. So let's get started laying our foundation. I cut up the ficus into, 5 pieces? So, and it bends, so that's nice. You can find the longest ones here. There we go. And I can probably trim some of this off on the bottom. If I find my... There they are. Sometimes I'd lose my head if it wasn't glued on. So I'm just going to dip it in my hot glue, and everything's going to come out from the bow. The bow and the sign kind of share equal rights as far as focus, but everything's going to flow out from the bow. I just go up in there. I put hot glue on it, and I'm going to stay within the perimeters. I may not need all this ficus. It's quite a bit of it. I got my glue skillet warming up, but I think it kind of pooped out on me. It's already starting to take shape, isn't it? Let me turn it so it's more face on for you. It's already starting to take shape. And wreaths like this with a big sign and a big bow, you don't need as much product to put in. So it does kind of actually save just a little bit of money. Well, I say that, and the sign costs a lot, and depending on the type of ribbon you use, the bow might have cost a lot. But you know what I mean. That may be too far out there. I may need to take that off. We'll see when we get around to there. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that off. I don't like that coming out quite that far. And I can put this little piece kind of under the bow to help bolster the bow and keep it popped out. Like that. How's it looking so far? I'm going to put a little bit back in there. Don't think I need a real big piece. I've got some small pieces that were left over that I can cut off and use them. I kind of sometimes keep the little pieces together because I can use them in other projects. So if I keep them together, then I don't lose them as easy. Maybe just a little bit up here. We want the bow and the sign to become part of the design, not to stick out and not to go behind, but to just be incorporated. So, you know, I think that's an easy mistake to make when we do that. But once you get in the habit of checking your scale and everything, then I think you'll do okay. Let's see. That may be enough for now. I've got some left over in case I need it. I can always add it. I like to try to layer things, except for this. I'll leave this in the background. But you'll see by the way I place the flowers, and I don't think I'm going to use the leaves off of these. The leaves are not great, so just peel those off. And I'll go close to the bow right in here. I just want to place it. And close to the bow down here too. Fairly close. But you know what? I think what I'm going to do first, since this is kind of a flat product, it does bend, but I think I'm going to place these next. That kind of makes sense. Since the ficus lays pretty flat, and this does too, I think I'll use it next. Boy, my glue just does not want to heat up in my glue skillet. And the next thing I know, it'll be smoking. Smoking hot. And I'm going to remember that this is kind of a backdrop color. That looks real pretty, I think. What do you think? I think it looks nice with that sign. There's a little bit of purple. There's even yellow, but I couldn't find anything. I didn't have anything that's like a light yellow like that, so it's just going to be an added touch. Okay, I'm going to turn this back towards me a little bit. I don't think I need much of this purple, just enough to build up a little bit of color. Yeah, let's do that. So what have you got planned for Saturday? I'm just going to glue that in where it is. It's nice and sturdy right there. Okay. Oh, this bow, I will mess with it. Now, I have a decision to make. I have this pussy willow, and I've always liked this. There's nothing in the sign that suggests it should be there, but I like it, so I think I'm going to use it. I have a ton of it too, so that's another reason to use it. It kind of complements the the sign in a way because there's a lot of wood showing on the sign. And it is bendable a little bit. Here I was all ready to place those pink flowers and changed my mind. Oh, need to find a good spot for it to go in. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks kind of pretty. That looks kind of pretty. Good choice. I'll do some up on the top here. There. Gotta be the boss. If you hear some funny noises, it's my dog. He comes down here with me, but he thinks I'm very boring, so he almost always takes a nap while I'm doing this. And he's loud. He snores terrible. I'll put that back behind this one. I feel like I still have the perimeter going, which is what I need. I'll put some right in here. There we go. Okay. I might do one more pussy willow. I'll choose this one. And kind of go along the top there. I want to go behind these leaves so that I don't have any glue or anything showing. I don't feel like it's going in. There. Now it's in. Okay, now for the little pink flowers. Finally, I can use my glue. I'm going to go down in here. That's not in good. Let me cut this off just a little bit. And I think I can get into a smaller space then. Much better. All right. Whenever I do something on the bottom, I do on the top, and vice versa, trying to create that balance that we work so hard for. And the only reason I keep messing with the bow while I'm still working on this is because I need to see how it's laying before I place my flowers. And I want to make sure, I want to cut this off too. I want to make sure that there is good placement before I glue something in. far, so good. I wish if they were going to make such pretty flowers that they would have nice leaves too. You like the pussy willow? I do too. It just kind of, it adds a little bit of movement, I think. Without being huge. Sometimes the things we want to place on here get to be just too big. There's that. And then I think I'll bring the other one because it does look pretty. And these flowers aren't so big that they're like overpowering the wreath. So, and like I said, I try to make it look like it's layered. So I'll put it in amongst the leaves and everything instead of just on top. There we go. Now all I have left to place is a little bit of filler flowers. And I've got a couple of kind. I've got the white kind, which I have no idea what they are. And then I think this is supposed to be like baby's breath, pink baby's breath. Have you ever grown baby's breath? I love to grow it. It looks real pretty if you grow it along with, like, what are those called? Those bells. Always makes me think of Irish bells. What are they? Anyway, I like to grow them in with some other taller flowers and then some lower too. And I just kind of toss the seed. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. Alrighty. I see that you said, hi, Trish. Oh, well, there she is. Hello. Glad you could join us. Wow, that's kind of awkward. There we go. I have lots of the pink baby's breath, so if I need a lot, I can use a lot. Still trying to keep the perimeter. It's not a perfect circle, but it's pretty close. I just don't think I need a whole lot of everything, which is good. As a wreath maker, I try not to use an excess amount of, excuse me, I need to clear something, an excess amount of supplies, because then I have to sell it for that much more, and I prefer not to. Now there are some designers that can get a really good price for their wreaths, but in my area, probably not so much. Some of this is tighter woven than others. There, that's better. See how I'm layering? I'm pulling some of them forward and putting some of them back. And I think that just adds a little bit of interest to the project. Okay, now we'll work on the bottom. I really want to thank you for tuning in this morning. It means a lot to me to have you participate with me. There we go. And maybe one more of those. Oh, I already had it. Now that either needs to come up or go down. This purple stuff, it bends, but it bends clear back towards the main stem. I think the pussy willow got buried. So I'm going to add some more of that. There, I think that's what it needed. Even though it's kind of sandwiched in between, it needed to come out a little bit. And one on top too, I think. We're almost done. Because I don't think I need anything else. Do I? I don't know. I love these ranunculus. Yeah, I think I need to add those. If no other reason, just because I like them so much. I'll move things out of the way so I can see. There we go. I like that. I like that. Okay. Maybe just a little bit of ranunculus, especially close to the bow. I think that will look pretty. Now these are, it's the main stem part is wired, but the flowers themselves are not. So I have to get pretty good placement first time around, or I'm out of luck. I can move these leaves around a little bit. Go way up in here. Oh yeah, I think it needed that. even though I can't really turn them out. That's kind of disappointing. I think I'm going to cut that leaf off. Because I want the bow to lay nicely. And maybe one down in here. There we go. I like that. Maybe one in here. Let's see how many I have. Oh, I only have 2 left. So, let's move this out a little bit into that spot. Okay. And this one I can take out away from the bow a little bit. There, I think that's pretty. And one more. Yeah, I think I like that. I don't need it that long though. All right. And with that, I think we're done. Do you like it? Now when I sign off here, I will check the back to make sure that nothing's showing on the back. I'll make sure that I feel like this sign is secure. I may still put a fastener in the middle. Get the glue strings off the sign. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Trish. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. I think it turned out nicely. Here I am fussing with the bow again. You know what? I'm terrible because I will go to other people's homes, and if they have a wreath on their front door, I'm messing with the bow because I can't stand it. I can't stand not touching it and straightening it out and making it all nice. So that's what we have for you today. Let me see if I can get it off the hook. Get it up close a little bit. Easter blessings. One thing I didn't do is check the sides. I need to check and make sure everything looks good from the side. Yeah, it looks fine. All right. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. So I will let you go. And I appreciate you all very much, very, very much. Thank you for joining me, and we will talk again soon. Remember, always be a dreamer like me. Bye-bye.